Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Rush.
Happy Monday, Tom.
Good morning. How are you today, Bob?
I'm good. It's a weird week.
It's a weird week.
Yeah, everyone's going to be distracted by holiday preparation and where they're going. It's going to be a weird week. And by Thursday, I bet things are quiet, real quiet.
So why does that make it weird?
So this is how we're going to start the week off, huh?
I'm just curious. It's just a week, right?
It's not a typical week in that a lot of people have off Friday.
Yes.
Many places will close early Thursday.
Okay.
I certainly can see the things that typically happen in my business are already slowing down. I have a very quiet couple days.
Which means for you, for those of you who don't know, for Bob, quiet means he has no appointment scheduled on his calendar. Or few.
Very few. Yes.
Means you have plenty of time to do some other things that maybe you hadn't had a chance to get to in the past.
Like figuring out why the light's so messed up in here today.
It's a little dark.
It is. Let me try something. Here, this is real. Does that help or hinder?
Kind of a distraction. I don't know. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
Well, maybe it's because it's the winter solstice today.
Oh, it is. Is it today or tomorrow?
I thought it was today.
Okay. Did you see the full moon over the last couple of days?
I did not.
Gorgeous. Very clear last night, so you could see it very well.
So since this is the shortest day of the year, maybe it's...
That's good. Well played. Well, let's get to the meat of the show, Tom. I'm anxious. We got a great topic this week.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast, where we have a discussion around a topic. This week's topic is success. Oh, I'm getting feedback that I was incorrect. The winter solstice is tomorrow. My producer was in my ear saying...
We all heard that. That was great.
Yeah. I tried.
That's one of the best moments in this whole 2 years.
Well, I'm glad I could have that for you. All right, so we have a discussion around a topic. It's not about the winter solstice, although we were talking about that. Our topic is success. And if
you like the winter solstice discussion, we'll be back tomorrow for the real discussion.
Correct. I learned a little bit about success already today, so that's a good thing. And we hope that if you have some thoughts around our topic, that you would please feel free to share in the comments if you are watching this broadcast. If you are listening, we would welcome any feedback that you have. You can also rate our show.
5 stars.
We would love it if you would rate our show. And most importantly, with either of those, you can share it with others, because we know that there might be people out there desperately looking for the conversations that we are having so that they can consider things differently and maybe help them move forward along their own unique pathway to success. So please feel free to share this show and feel free to be engaged in it if you would like. Share a comment or a thought. And at the end, Bob and I will share our one thing about our topic of the day. And we would encourage you to do the same. So as we start every show out, we start out with celebrations. So what are you celebrating today, Bob?
I am celebrating the joy of the holidays. I got to see some people. I met someone at a party late Saturday evening, someone who I was supposed to meet for like the last year and a half, and we had a lovely discussion. And it was just really nice. So I'll have to tell you more about it later. You will enjoy it.
Excellent. Look forward to that.
How about you?
I am celebrating I am celebrating a quiet week of work.
Okay.
Which
I thought you were
means-
going to go. I thought you might celebrate the day before the winter solstice.
Yeah. Yeah, not going to go there. Although I could have. No, I have some things that I haven't gotten to. And so I am looking forward to some quieter days, if that's what happens, so that I can go back and do some of the things that I hadn't had an opportunity to do.
Nice.
So that's going to start not today yet. Tomorrow probably is a good day for it.
Okay. Nice.
And I like weird
today,
weeks.
Tom, the national celebration. It's National Caroling Day.
Caroling Day.
Now, I got ahead of it. We caroled last night at the halftime of the Ravens game.
Nice.
Under the beautiful full moon. We had a fire pit out there so people could gather around the fire pit. We had about, I think, 12 people from our street come out.
Very nice.
It was really fun.
What's your favorite song?
Well, I was joking all evening because there's a song I learned as a kid that no one else knows. It's something about "Here we go, wassailing away."
Ah, yes.
But I think "Silent Night" was my favorite last night because one of the people that attended liked it so much at the beginning. At the end, she said, "It's such a beautiful song. Let's sing it again."
Nice.
And we had some really nice harmony. There's a couple that lives on our street that they're musicians. And so they brought some serious harmony chops to the endeavor.
Now, are you a boomer singer or are you a almost barely moving, adding any
I was in the
sound to
middle.
your voice?
I was in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of people to come outside and
We had
listen?
about a dozen people from the neighborhood, which was okay. I mean, it was during the Ravens game. So we didn't know that when it got scheduled. They moved that game.
Correct.
So some of the people just opted for football over caroling, which that's a choice.
Did you go house to house or did you just pick a
We did
spot?
not. We stood at our house because I had a fire pit and it was cold. It was in the mid-30s.
It was cold last night here.
Yeah. So we all congregated there for maybe a half hour. And it's great because while we're all, we know each other, we don't get the chance to always talk and be around each other. And it was just a really nice neighborhood thing. And you've been on our street, so the houses are pretty close to each other. So
Correct.
It makes it easier. In some neighborhoods, when everyone's got a 2-acre property,
right, it'd be hard.
Getting together in the center isn't really, you have to bring a car. Everyone walked to it. One of the neighbors provided the firewood, so we were burning lots of wood. It was great.
Excellent.
So we got a head start. I didn't know it was National Caroling today. Or I'm sorry, National Caroling Day today.
So you could repeat it today if you wanted.
Correct, I could.
An encore
get
performance?
together, Tom, and we'll sing?
That's okay. I'm busy tonight. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
I have
I'm going to transition to our topic because I just realized I got a gift last week for my birthday from Sydney. And it is this mug. Proceed as if success is inevitable.
Excellent.
And it fits right into our topic for the week, right?
It does. And I love the fact that you have your camera set up correctly so that it reads correctly.
Yeah.
You ever seen those people take pictures and it's backwards? And
well, you know where I learned that, Tom?
Where did you learn that?
You put together a course. And I actually paid attention to your course. So if there's anyone out there who is struggling with getting words to show up correctly, Tom put together a really nice, it was like a 5-10 day course, right?
Yeah, it was 5 days. Correct. We defined it as the perfect Facebook video.
But it could be LinkedIn, Zoom, it could be anything.
Instagram. Although it's not as detailed as what people do with Instagram or TikTok. It's more like I would offer a more professional setting rather than a TikTok type video.
But you could use some of the same techniques.
You could definitely use there are some techniques in there that would definitely be beneficial to
if that's of interest to you, contact Tom or me. We will tell you how you can get your hands on that course. It's really, honestly, that's how this worked. I had never been able to do it, and I see it all the time when you see people's t-shirts.
Correct. They're back.
Yeah.
Not helpful.
So let's talk about success, Tom.
Excellent. Sounds like you're fired up and ready to go. So
I am.
So what we're talking about today is success. And for those of you who are new to this, we pick a topic for a week and then we have subtopics each day until we get to Friday. And then Friday, we share our discoveries of the week. So the subtopic today is what it is. So do you want to kick us off, Bob?
Sure. I'm going to start with what it isn't.
Interesting. Glad that's not a topic for the week. And okay, go ahead.
Well, it occurred to me when I was thinking through this over the weekend that what success isn't is everything I want.
What success isn't.
Because to have success, you have to serve other people in some capacity.
And you don't want that?
No, that's what I want. But what I'm saying is if it's all about me, success isn't going to happen. And I think that's one of the things I've had to learn, and it really crystallized for me over the weekend, is that for me to be successful, I need to do things that serve other people. So, and if I do that, whether it's a product, a service, forming a foundation, it could be a number of things, or leading my team. To lead a team, you have to be able to know what your team members need, know how they're motivated. To create a product or service, you have to know how your customers are motivated, what they're trying to do. So we talk about success. I want success. Success is this for me. But as I think about it more and more, success is really about serving someone else. And I will confess, I'm not someone who's wired to be motivated by money. There are people that, if I could make $10 million, that would be success to me. I'd rather change 10 million lives. That would be the thing to me. Like on my last day on earth, it would be, you made $10 million or changed 10 million lives. I'll take the lives, please. The money's nice, but
okay.
So what's your definition of success?
Well, before I get into my definition,
I feel some coaching coming on.
No, not at all. It's just fascinating that you talked about success is not about you. And yet the way that you are going to better serve or have the opportunity to impact 10 million lives is by changing what's real for you. So in some ways it is all about you. And the way that you look at things. Is that fair to say?
Yes, this just got really heavy.
Well, I just think it's interesting that I think if you want to do more for others, and that's what drives you, and that's what, if you think that's how you're going to gain success, then it starts with you, correct?
Yes.
And so I think that's a fascinating idea around it. And I guess that's where I'm at with it, is that I think, one, success, everyone gets a chance to define their own success. And there's a difference, I think, between what is success. And I think, because I think tomorrow we're going to talk about sort of defining it, but about how we look at it. Because I think a lot of people look at success in terms of results. And I think, as we've discussed, probably for some people ad nauseum, you can't necessarily control the results that you get. And so in some ways, as much as you would love to impact 10 million people, the only way that happens is if 10 million people are willing to be impacted. So you can't control that, right?
Correct.
10 million people could listen to this show, and 9,999,999 people could choose to never listen again. And so that one person, maybe that's what we control is what we do, what our actions are, what our perspective is, what's real for us. And I think that was something that was crystallized for me about 15 years ago, I think. I can't remember the exact time, but I happened to come across a book by John Wooden, and I may have shared this with the show before, but not in a while. And John Wooden was a longtime legendary basketball coach. at UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, who won 10 national championships in a row. So he knew a little bit about basketball. And yet his book about, I think it was about success, had nothing to do with the number of wins they had. It was a fascinating read, just about his. And so he kind of, throughout his time, sort of determined, put together what it is, and I'll share it. And his is that success is a peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction and knowing you made the effort to become the best of which you are capable. And to me, that really, it's about how can we make every effort to do what we want to achieve. For you want to achieve impacting 10 million lives. Yet you don't control that. So to determine success based on things we don't control is challenging. To go back to what you were talking about last night, and here's sort of a real life example, is a lot of people would look at the Ravens game last night. And for those of you who don't know, the Ravens were behind by 2 touchdowns, scored with 45 seconds to go. Then this will be painful for some people. And chose to go for 2 points rather than kick the field goal and send it in overtime. So some people would say that was not a success. And I would say that the results were not. Now, there were 22 people on the field. There were heavens knows how many coaches that were all involved in trying to impact that result. So no one person could control it. And so I think that in some regards, and it's hard because, I think it's why it's hard to do with results and to determine whether that's success.
Well, I guess success when you're down 2 touchdowns late in the game to get to the place where you could actually win the game in and of itself, even though they didn't win the game, is a success.
Well,
not the ultimate success by which they are judged, which is how many games do you win and where do you get seated in the playoffs.
Right. We spend a lot of time judging. There's no doubt about that.
Second string quarterback, some other things, no silly penalties. So I could actually argue the case that was a successful effort to get to that place. But like you said, the outcome was not what they had planned or hoped for.
And I guess the question is, and if you go back to, in my mind, Wooden's quote, was that effort, trying to be the best that they could be? Now, some would argue that decision is part of how do you make the team the best that they can be? And so that attempt was an effort to really impact what's real for them, which, in our language, I think that to me is, what I think I would define success as, is how do you continue to impact what's real for you to allow you to have an opportunity to achieve the results you desire, even though you may not ever achieve them. Because again, those are things we can't control. What we can control are the actions that we take. And so if you are looking at the decisions that the coach made for the Ravens, his decision was he thought this was going to help them be the best that they could be for whatever reason. Now, because it's the world we live in, we spend a lot of time judging. A lot of other people have a very different definition of success and would define that as not successful.
Yes.
So it's an interesting, success to me is just a fascinating, and I hope I didn't take us way off track.
Well, and think about it this way, Tom, 2 weeks in a row, this has happened and they've failed. If they had success both weeks and won the game, they would have modified how other teams looked at success.
Sure.
It's a pendulum swing, right?
Well, and I think that's the question is, if you repeat efforts over and over and over again that are not getting the results you desire, is that success? Or are you just continuing to do something that is not making you the best that you can be? The hard part is that we'll never know, right? Because they could do it again. They could do it. You could take that similar action in 2 weeks and the results could be different.
Right.
You could choose that from ever on, you will never, ever going to kick an extra point again. You're just always going to go for 2. And maybe that makes you a better team. It's hard to tell. The challenge is the results aren't always up to us. And if that makes you tougher, stronger, whatever the case might be, maybe that's enough to determine success. And I think that's I guess that's one of the things that as I was thinking about this topic is imparting, is that to me, results don't necessarily equal success, because
Right.
there's so few things that we can control in that. And so for me, it's, that's why I love the whole peace of mind part of it. I think maybe that's my favorite part of his whole phrase, is that it allows you to have peace of mind, to know that you've done what you could do to try to become the best that you could be. And I think at the end of the day, if at the end of our lives, or at the end of our work life, or at the end of this job, we were able to stop and say, you know what, I may not have got the results that everybody wanted, or even maybe that I would have desired, yet I did everything I could to achieve those results, and that I can walk away with a peace of mind that I did everything I could. If for some reason this endeavor of ours, the Renegade Success Network, doesn't achieve a result that we desire, I think I could still walk away and say, you know what? We did everything we could do, that we knew. Now, maybe there were other things that we didn't know about, weren't real for us in the moment. No one ever shared with us. We didn't take advantage of, that you could look back and say, yes, we could have done that. And I think so often those are the easy things to do.
Mm-hmm.
The woulda, coulda, shouldas. And I think rather than if you just are comfortable with, I did everything I could do.
Or the wishing it'll turn out without doing the work.
Correct.
Which segues into what you and I are trying to do in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely.
Would you like to explain that real quick?
I would be happy to. That if you find yourself wishing, or you find yourself so focused on results, and you're looking this year at your results, I think, you might want to take a peek into a workshop that Bob and I are offering. It's a free workshop. It will be on the 27th of December and the 4th of January. There's more details Bob has just put in the comments. And the conversation is about from I wish to success, the Renegade Way. And I think the Renegade Way is about defining what you are going to do and then doing it, so that at this time next year, you may or may not achieve the results you desire. I think you're going to be a lot closer to them if you are focused on the things that you can control. That's what we're going to work on in this workshop. And it is going to be very interactive. So if you want to participate, you can go to the link, sign up, bring your pen and paper, and bring your thinking cap, because we are going to dive into how 2022 can be more successful for you. And
bring a friend or a colleague or people you work with. This will work for anyone in any field. What Tom and I put together really can work. And you will walk away from it with some real clarity around what you need to be doing. So if you're someone who gets to Monday or Wednesday or Friday and goes, I don't know what I should be doing right now, this is going to help you figure out exactly what you need to be doing to get where you're going.
Correct. And it will last no more than 75 minutes. So we would love to see you there. And we know that it will have an impact on not only how you finish this year and look at your results from this year, it will also help you be better prepared for 2022. So we look forward to that. And we look forward to seeing you there. Bob,
I want to throw some comments into this real quick. I can't figure out who this was because I don't have the ability right this minute, but did anyone want to sing All I Want for Christmas as a 2-point conversion? That would be a lamenting Ravens fan. And then Frank, with his usual wake up call to us with our names, and I like they put my name first today. Says Harbaugh, the Ravens coach, needs to go. So we're getting some comments around the football. Not a surprise this morning.
Correct.
So what's your one thing today, Tom?
I think my one thing, I'm going to try to keep it simple, which is not always easy for me, as you know. I think what it is, we'll go back to what you started with a little bit, and say that it's not results. That, yes, that is an end game, and that's what we desire, yet I don't know that that's success. And I'll go back to success are all the things that we do to try to make ourselves better, to make our organization better, our business better, that will hopefully help us better be prepared to achieve the results we desire. So I'm going to go with.
I like that. So what you're really saying, and I'm going to echo it, is actions are the key to success, not results.
And
because any action you take is either going to get you closer or further away, and that's going to ultimately help you decide which way to go.
If you choose to learn from the actions.
If you choose to learn from.
And I think that is that it's not just actions alone, that it's what have we learned.
Right.
The Ravens are now 2 for 8 on 2-point conversions. Some may say that's really good. Others may say it's not. So the team has to figure out, just like we would have to figure out in any business. If your sales pitch, if you're 2 for 8 on your sales pitch, you may want to start to think differently about what you are doing. If you just like, this is my pitch and I'm just going through it, and this was my goal for the year is to come up with a pitch, do it consistently, and see what happens. Okay. Yet if you stop learning from those actions you take, I think you're going to be less likely to get closer and closer to your success. So yes, I would agree. It is about action, and how do we follow up from that action? What do we learn from it? What about what's real for us has changed?
I like that. Wow. This has been a chunky episode for a Monday.
Well, the start of a week. It's the start of a weird week. You said it. You let off with it.
That's it.
All right, everyone. Oh,
go ahead. Please.
You wanted to close, didn't you?
No. I have half a bowl of oatmeal here that's now cold, so I'm frustrated at myself. I just looked down at it and I was like, rats.
You can
Poor
change
planning
it, right?
this morning.
Well, you can change it, right?
Yes, I can heat it up again.
It is there.
That's it.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us and being a part of today's Antidote. We hope that you gained a little knowledge. We hope that you will share any thoughts you have. If you didn't get a chance to share it in the comments, which you can do even if you are listening to this later, or if you are listening to the podcast, you can always go to our Ring of Renegades Facebook group and share your thoughts and ideas with others who are trying to find their own unique pathway to success. It's easy to do. All you have to do is go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades, and then ask to join. We have creating a space where people can get together and figure out their next steps. And so all we ask you to do when you ask to join is tell us why you're a renegade, and you can become a part of our growing community. So we look forward to seeing you inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, and we hope that you are marking the 27th of December and the 4th of January down to join us on our workshop from I Wish to Success, the Renegade Way.
Either one of those. You're not required to do them both. You could, though.
You could choose to do both. That's correct.
I will.
As will I. All right. And if we don't see you there, which we will be sad, we will see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, for our next edition of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, and embrace the renegading you and go out and carol. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. There you go. Now I did my caroling for National Caroling Day.
So you're done. I was going to just let it go to see how long you would keep singing. And to watch our viewership as that happened. Just curious.
You want me to go back to it?
That's okay. Have a great day, everyone.
Do you hear what I hear? Do you?
Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.